The park?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you feeling today?
A little anxious. I just got a little anxious right now, which is, I'm just like, really? But when people ask me, oh, how are you? How are you doing? You know, it's like, I just answer like in the moment. So obviously if I had a breakdown in the morning, I'm not going to be like the whole day was ruined, you know. It's like I'm good now or I'm good right now, you know. I feel fine right now. So right now I do feel a little anxious.
Okay, so let's take it back a little bit just so everybody knows what's been happening. So our plan was I think we were going to record on Monday, right? Monday morning?
Yeah, Monday morning.
Monday morning. And I call you, whatever, we're getting ready to set up and stuff, and you basically told me that you were on your way to the hospital because you were having a lot of anxiety or maybe an anxiety attack, something along the lines with anxiety. And you mentioned to me, like, after all that happened, you know, obviously I kept in touch with you, making sure you were good and whatever. And then when we got to talk a little bit, you mentioned to me that you had been feeling a little crazy throughout the weekend, and I guess Monday was when it finally, like, went down.
Well, so I had an episode in the middle of like a late lunch for my mom's birthday on Saturday, and I worked through it, and then I finally, after about 2-3 hours, I felt good. I felt normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then I woke up Sunday, still felt anxious, still felt really, really off. It's like hard to tell what's up, what's down. I'm just kind of like, I'm just uncomfortable, and I just want to be still. And I wanted to go to church, so I was like, nothing's going to keep me from church. I have not been going, and I really want to go. So I did ask God to give me some strength. I was like, please give me strength because I want to go. And I don't care if I'm throwing up. I don't care if I'm like falling over because I'm dizzy. Like, just get me there. So I go, and I'm just kind of breathing, and I'm kind of quiet. Like, I feel it. I'm just trying not to panic, I guess. And so I'm just trying to focus on my breathing, and I'm driving, and I'm just going to church. And during church, the service, I almost have like an attack. I have like an episode, and I'm just like, are you serious? Like, I'm in the house of God. Like, how, you know?
Yeah.
So that was just like, oh my gosh. So it's just a lot of work, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of myself working on myself, like internally. That there's a lot of things I'm doing. Like, I'm focusing on my breathing. I'm telling myself, you know, you're okay. You're good. You're calm. Feel what you need to feel, but tell yourself what's true and what's not true. Like, always, always remember that. Just because you're thinking something doesn't mean that that is what it is. You know, think that thought, but substitute it with another thought and something the truth. And if you do think a thought that's not true, then just say that's not true. So just a lot of that stuff kind of going on. And then I kind of just wanted to go home, but my grandma and my mom, I was with my siblings. All of us were like, well, let's go eat. And, you know, who isn't down to go eat? But I just was kind of like, yeah, I'll go. My appetite's been really off. Like, I'm almost not hungry. But which is kind of nice in the sense that, okay, well, if I'm not hungry, like, I'm just going to make sure I eat super, super healthy. But so I ate. I actually liked what I got. I was able to finish it, no problems. It was a little on edge. I was a little on edge, but I got through it through the lunch, and it was actually really, really nice. And I was happy. And then I was like, cool. Let me, we did our thing. We drove around for a little bit. We cruised before we went home. And then when I got home, I picked up a little, did some dishes, whatever. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a nap. So I took a nap. And when I woke up, I actually felt connected to myself. I felt good. I didn't feel any anxiousness. So that was awesome. And then I did my thing. I went to guitar practice. I went to the bowling alley with my friend. And it was nice. I had a good time. And then when I got home, I was tired and I knocked out. But I actually have been having really bad nightmares. So I wake up and my heart's like pounding and I'm just so scared. Like my nightmares were just really scary and just ugly. And so I have to think of something else when I wake up and then I fall back asleep. So, so I was still on edge, but for the first part of the day. And then Sunday, on Monday, I woke up and I was having a wonderful morning. We were getting ready, I was setting up and I was just looking at my day, planning it. I wrote in my gratitude journal. It was all good. And I had a trigger out of nowhere and I started having an episode and I was like, dude, you're fine. Like I was tripping on something and it was nothing big. I don't understand. And so I kind of just was like, I don't want to do this another day,
And that's when you
And
decided to go to the hospital?
well, no, I ended up I was like, you know what, I need to talk to somebody. So I talked to my mom and I was like in and out. I was like calm and then I was freaking out and crying. And I basically just told her, like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I've been dealing or living with anxiety and panic attacks for a while now, and I haven't gotten help. And it sucks because, like, she wants to know what she can do to help. She's like, I want to help you. And it's just like, I want you to help me too, like it sucks. So I finally decided to go to the hospital and I knew they were going to give me something. And I knew I was like, okay with that at that point because, I've been hesitant about taking medication.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So, cause me and you, like, we mentioned the last podcast, we've been friends for almost a decade, but we lost touch for a while because of, time zone, shit happens, right? Mm-hmm. But we got back in touch maybe like 3 years ago, maybe a little over. No, maybe about 3 years. And that's when it kind of, maybe it started before that, but that's kind of like when I became aware of you dealing with anxiety or whatever, and you've always told me like, oh, I'm going to seek help and, and then it doesn't happen. So that's something that you're actually going to work on now, right? Because I remember telling you like, because I have a cousin who suffers anxiety and my mom, but my mom's anxiety is a little different. She gets it when there's storms, like whenever there's a storm, it gets really windy, it gets really like crazy like that. She panics really, really bad. My cousin was kind of like along the line of yours, I'm assuming. And well, not assuming, but I'm not going to put her business out there, but she sought help. But at the time she didn't know it was anxiety. She just thought like, what the hell? Why do I think this way? Why do I feel this way? And then, she sought help and, she got on some meds and my mom has her meds too in case, one night there's a crazy storm and shit. Mm-hmm. And I remember telling you like, girl, go get you some Xanax, go calm down. But you weren't for meds. So now you're kind of like, okay, you're open to it.
Yeah, I'm open to I won't say I'm open to Xanax specifically. I'm open to trying some medication. And I'm also open to, I'm going to go to therapy. So I'm not going to just do one, I'm going to do both. And with the goal, so I have to find a doctor that I can work together with. I don't want a doctor that's going to just tell me. I mean, I remember about 2017, I went to the doctor and they're like, yeah, you have depression and you have anxiety. I've always had anxiety. I've always been anxious. I've always been like worried. I've always had habits of like, you know, when you pick your fingernails, you're just like, you got to be doing something. You're like anxious.
Mm-hmm.
But this got to the point where it was like irrational fear after irrational fear, and just like thoughts, like everything was just like, I was scared of almost everything. If I go to sleep, like I have to keep opening my eyes, and it's just, and I have nightmares. Like I'm always on edge, and I'm always in fight or flight mode. And that is what causes sickness. Like when your body's constantly thinking it's under attack, when I'm not under attack. Like, you know, on Monday before I went to the hospital, I was completely calm. I was reading, I was planning my day. Like it was all things that you would think would make me calm, and you know, it just triggered. And yeah, so I'm definitely open to, and you know, it's not that I felt crazy in the weekend. I just felt so out of control.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be grounded, and I wanted to be like still. I just kind of felt like I was just not, and it was ugly and scary. And so, and you start to feel crazy because the thoughts you're thinking, you're very aware that these are not thoughts that you should be thinking. You know, you shouldn't, like there's a moment where you're like, oh wow, that's not my normal thinking. You know, what's going on? So you're aware. And so I've been pretty good at like living with it without, you know, going to talk to somebody, without doing medication. And I actually was smoking weed for a while because I felt like it chilled me out. But I feel like that helped with the depression more, and it aggravated my anxiety.
Like a lot of people have experienced that, like the anxiety part of it.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, well, this is stupid. I wanted to do this, and it was helping. It was really helping. Like it wasn't just because it was fun for me. It helped me kind of just stay in the present, and I liked it. I liked that I was able to function. And then I started to have anxiety attacks once I was on it, and I said, okay, no, that's not good. So I stopped that. So I won't say that I felt like cannabis was just something that was a little bit more organic. Pills are just something that I have never been a fan of. I've never been in. They gave me the anxiety medication. I was like, what if I have a bad trip? What if this doesn't go good? Or what if it doesn't, you know, I'm asking all these questions, and he's like, that's why we're going to watch you. Like, you're okay. You know, so I'm anxious about taking anxiety medicine, you know?
Yeah.
But
I mean, and that's what I was going to say earlier. Like, basically, what happened to me was different, though. It was, God, I can't believe I forgot I went through this shit. Damn, that's crazy. Maybe Alexandra was maybe about a year old, and I was just working and then going to school, and I was just constantly busy and tired. And I was just feeling really down and like just really, really down. And I remember I went to my doctor and I told her, you know, what was going on. And I was like, you know, I just feel like my son deserves more of me, more of my energy, more of my time, more just more of me. I'm too like tired. I'm too down to like I wasn't happy enough for him, it felt like. And yeah, it was a small dose and it did help me out a lot. And then I mean, I didn't take it every day or anything like that, but yeah, for any, young moms or not young moms, but any mom, new mom, if you feel that around that time because you're not sleeping, you wake up every 2 hours, all this crazy shit is constantly happening. I mean, I was opening the gym at 5 in the morning. I had to get up at 3:30 to be able to take off by 4:30 to be there by 4. My body was exhausted, dude. Like,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, just it's always good to seek help, girl. And I bet you talking to somebody, you're gonna feel so good. I'm excited for you. And I was gonna tell you, I saw that there's therapy that you can do like art as you're talking.
Mhm.
Have you heard of that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
That would
art in general is I used to say like, oh, I'm not a good artist, but they're like, it's the process that's therapeutic. I
Yeah,
love
this
that.
girl that I follow on YouTube started her therapy not too long ago. And she goes to a therapist like that and she says that they use, clay and all those because she says that it doesn't moving her hands and doing something as she's talking doesn't really let her think about what she's saying. She's just saying it.
Mhm.
So her therapist is really able to,
Cool.
pull from her without her
Mhm.
thinking like, should I say, like because I'm assuming that's another source of anxious feeling that you get, once you start talking. And I mean, anxiety in general is like I said, I don't. My mom gets it when there's thunderstorms, dude, and that woman. It's not funny, but it's like, dude, my mom is walking up and down the house, looking out the windows. It's so crazy how it just gets
Yeah,
people
it fucking sucks.
crazy.
It fucking sucks. Like I'm I'm just trying to look at the good, like I'm not alone and I know that because I like there's people who tell me like, "Oh yeah, dude, like you just got to get through this. Like just stay busy." And like it's hard for people to help when they don't actually know what people are feeling when they're having the attacks and the thoughts. It's obviously just stop worrying, just stop calm your body down, your nervous system, you just relax and meditate. But life is stressful. Like I can't be in my room in my safe space for the rest of my life. And
Yeah.
I'll feel like that where it's like I don't want to leave and what if, and it's of course like for other people it's like funny like oh my gosh, and after the fact like that they know they're okay, but in the moment like you are full of 100% fear. You're full of you are pretty sure you're about to die, like there's nothing fun about that, when people tell you to just calm down or tell you, oh, you just gotta stay busy or just get on this pill. You're just like, well, I don't want to just calm down, because you're like in the moment. But yeah, like I've talked to someone, but in the past, like it's not like I've never been to a therapy session, but I feel like they were never long enough to where we could actually get into like to the work, get into the core of what's going on, because I've been an anxious person, like I said, since I was little, and it's just gotten worse as I've gotten older. Like I'm more, I guess, aware of things. Like of course when you're a kid you don't have as much fear, but I don't know if it's because you get older and you're just like you understand that, oh my gosh, like life is really overwhelming. You take on everything and you're just like, crap, can I do this? Like you you just realize that it's so easy to be sick for the rest of your life and never do anything, because it eventually passes. And then that's what happened with me. Like, I would feel good, and then boom, I would not feel. I would feel absolutely terrible. I feel how I feel right now. It's been, my mom said, stop counting the days. Like, just be in the day today. But I'm trying to keep track so that when I talk to someone, it's like, yeah, this episode happened for this long. And, but I get what she's saying. Like, don't be like, this is day 6 of living with anxiety, like yesterday I had a better day. But it's just hard moments in the day. Like, it's just, I'm just very on edge. Like, when is it going to happen? Is it going to come? No, it's not going to come. Stop telling yourself it's going to come. Just, what are you doing right now? Okay, focus on finish your sandwich, and drive to where you're driving. Like, I'll think about something. It's like, don't think about that. Why are you, that's not even, that is, I'll just think you know, I'll think a
So let me
thought and
ask
I'm
this. Let me ask you this, and you can say no. And the only reason I'm asking you is because,
just
well,
ask.
I'll tell you why I'm asking. But would you share maybe not your craziest thought, but like a crazy thought that you've had that it's crazy? Because like I remember when my cousin talked to me about hers, and she's like, dude, you don't even want to know what I've been thinking. And then I would be like, dude, just tell me, like. And then she told me her thought, and I was like, dude, like, what the hell? Like, how was that even somewhere in there? And she's like, dude, it's crazy. Like, some crazy fucking thoughts come to my head, and I just don't know what to do. And that's when it all happens.
The idea of crazy, just, you feel crazy because you feel like you're so out of control. But I don't like to use the word crazy or like the craziest thought. It's just a thought that you just know is not healthy. I don't know. Like, when they're like not healthy, or when they're destructive or they're untrue. You like the thought, like, you feel like you're gonna die. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna die right now. Like, that is not true. That's not gonna happen. Is it crazy to think that? No. It's just, it's not, it's a very unhealthy thought. But it's, if you think it, fine, like, I'll think it, but I'm like, that's not gonna happen. That's not true. So that's been one thing. I've been talking to a few different people who've been going through this, like, with me, and you've definitely been one of them. Like, you've been checking on me every day. And yeah, like, one of my friends is just like, you have to tell yourself, you just have to remind yourself what is true and what's absolutely not true. And that has been really, really helping me. Because, like, I'll still go off just daydreaming. You think, and then, you'll be fine. And then maybe just something triggers. And I don't have a specific trigger. Like, I can't, oh, I don't want to do that because that might trigger me. It's literally, it feels like it's anything and nothing. Like, it's, so yeah, I definitely, that's why I was just like, okay, yeah, I have a lot coming up this next month, and I want to make sure that I'm good, so.
Yeah, because I mentioned this to you the other day, a few days ago or whenever we talked, and I said, you're so good. Like, you've been going to the gym, you've been eating good, like all these things that are really healthy for you, but you haven't taken care of your mental health. And that's the most important of them all. So I'm really happy, and I'm excited for you to start the process, because, girl, you're going to be 100 once it all starts working out.
Yeah,
Once the
we'll
process
see.
begins.
We'll see. I am hopeful. I'm just, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know that I'm going to be 100%. I think it's just like people with diabetes or people with severe allergies. Like, you just learn to control it. You will live with it forever. And, you know, that's not something that you're doomed with. But it's lately, it's been feeling like that way for me. Like I'm doomed, you know? But I know that
I love you, dude. And I know it's only going to get better from here.
and if there what I'm saying is I know that I'm not going to have a great day or great moments throughout the whole day, and I'm okay with that, you know? And I'm accepting that, like, hey, as a positive thinker, when you think very negatively, you're just like, hey, what the heck, you know?
Yeah, you're my positive little bee on Instagram and Snapchat and shit. So,
Yeah, so it's crazy. Or say, I'm trying not to use that word, but it's just, it makes me sad when I'm not, you know? But I'm also, that's part of life. Like, you're not going to be able to see the light all the time. And that's why, like, reaching your hand out, um, and being like, yeah, I'm not okay, you know?
yeah.
And that's okay because, you know, you're on your way to being better. And I hear you and you're just so excited, like, you're going to feel so good. And it's like, I want to feel that, you know, but I'm clearly like, yeah, we'll see. Cause I just, I want that so badly, you know? And I think I hear different hear people's stories, and they're very inspiring. Like, I don't want to be on medication, but I also don't want to think these thoughts. And it's like you're asking me, like, what's your scary, like, I can't even say it because it's just,
Yeah, and I just wanted to ask whenever, you know.
yeah, no, I know, but, and it's just a trip because I'll feel good, but then, yeah, it's like all of a sudden I'll feel really sad. And, well, first it's like anxiousness. And I like when I get like this and I'm crying because it's almost like cleansing, where it's like, okay, like you're letting it out, you know? So, but it's been so hard to just cry. Like, it's really weird. I don't know if people can relate to that, but like, it's almost like I'm choking on something, and you're just like, you know, someone tells you, like, hey, I'm really sorry that you're going through this, and boom, I just start crying, you know? Or,
Yeah.
hey, you know, I don't know, like, or people even just tell, like, I love when people are telling me right now, like, you're gonna get through this, because at some point at some level I understand that, and that's why I'm not at home just in bed, you know? I'm at the park right now. I'm doing what I have to do even when I don't feel like it. And that's going for like eating. Like, I'm not hungry.
And you can eat.
Right? And I was just going to say, it's like, Lord knows, like, if you know me, I love food.
Yeah.
And when you can't eat, you're just like, man, like, yeah, you need to figure something out, you know, try something else, do something different. And that's where I'm at, like, for sure. And whatever doesn't work, it's okay. Like, I don't feel like last night, so I got my prescription. So the hospital gave me some medication. And yesterday, and just having it near me, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I felt better. I didn't need it, but I was like, I have it in case.
Yeah.
And when I went to bed, I was like having a good time, but I've been having really horrible nightmares. So, and my heart's pounding, and you're just like, oh my, you're just so like full of adrenaline. And I'm like, I want to just sleep. You know, sleeping is one of the best ways to heal the body, and I have to sleep. So I said, you know what? Like, I feel okay right now, but because I've been doing that for so long, I'll say, and I will be okay. Like, I'll be in a great mood. I feel the life inside me, and I feel that I'm thriving. I feel connected to joy and excitement. And right now it's almost like I'm unable to plug into those things for some reason. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? But to not know the cause is what's just bugging me. But at the same time, my friend's like, stop trying to figure it out. You know, just you don't feel good, and you're gonna go talk to someone, and that's when you guys can talk about some things. And by you talking to her, she'll be able to, or he, whoever, will be able to trace it and maybe give you some insight, and you'll feel better. Seen me crying yesterday driving. Like, I was hardcore crying driving. Like, if somebody passed by, I would have probably been like, oh shit. Because I was just like so into my crying, but I felt so good. And then after, like, I went to the places that I was going, and I'm just like, you could tell I was crying, and it was just like, yeah, I don't care. I'm having one of those days,
Yeah.
or I'm having one of these this afternoon. And the rest of the day was great. I went to work. I was able to do work. I was able to go to the gym with my girlfriends, and I was able to go home, do some things. Like, it was a good day, but yeah, it's it's
Been a tough
been
weekend.
yeah, it's been a
Week.
tough.
Goddamn, we're already Thursday, girl.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying. I'm
it's
like,
August 1st.
I know. That's why I was like, it's a new month, like
Month, new you.
new me. So yeah, I'm definitely, and I would just say, like, people who, like, for the medication, like, I'm obviously not on medication right now, and I was a little anxious, and I, but I didn't feel like that. As I was driving to the park, I told you, hey, I was just finishing, I had a work meeting, and then I came here, and then as I'm here waiting, I just started, like, just getting anxious. And I was like, why are you anxious? I'm like, what the hell? And then, yeah,
Well, like I
I
said,
don't know.
dude, it's only going to get better from here. Remember that.
Yes.
And for those of us who don't know or don't really have a good concept or have ever really experienced anxiety or depression or any of that, um, we got to be there for, like, I think of my mom all the time. So it's even if we don't understand it, it's important for us to be there for people who suffer any sort of mental health, because that shit is mental health is a very serious topic. And I'm really happy that recently it's been out there more, like on social media, and like people are putting their stories out there and stuff. And that's really good, because that's, oh, you break your arm, you break your finger, you do something, and people are, oh, they're Snapchatting the hospital and shit, but they don't. Mental health is probably the one we should be talking about the most, because it's the most important one.
Yeah, I would say it's like a silent killer of life. Like, obviously there's suicide, but there's people who just, you feel this way, but you never get help. You're just like me. Like, I've always been, because I'm able to see such light, I'm able to get through it, right? And it's nice. I'm like, I'm so grateful. Like, I'm able to look at that. But it's been harder this last 3 years to do that in a way that my life is able to thrive. It's almost like I literally cannot concentrate. Like if I'm working on something, I can't concentrate because of these intrusive thoughts, because of these feelings that I'm getting, and this nervousness, and I'm short of breath, and I'm just like, I'm dizzy, and I'm just like, oh shit, and I'm unable to focus on what I need to get done. And that's why I feel like I'm not where I could be, but that's where I'm to the point where, okay, well, I don't want to feel like I'm taking the easy route by doing medication, but I've never tried it. And if it ends up being something that allows me to focus more and concentrate on reading a book, you know, sitting in a classroom and feeling good, all of those things are nice, like to think about. Like, okay, well, that's something that's definitely giving me hope. Like, I haven't tried it. Let me get a good doctor that we can try different things, um, and have a game plan from the start. Like, I don't want this for the rest of my life. So let's try this for like 6 months. And um, yeah, like let me get through this, because it's been a really hard month, but it's more just been like, I would think, like depression off and on. But I was like, what are you sad about? Like, I could never pinpoint it. So I was like, you're just PMSing. But I couldn't pinpoint it. But I was still enjoying life. Like, I didn't feel the way I feel lately, where everything's just too overwhelming. I can't think. I just feel like everything's just too much for me to think about. And so I try not to think about anything, and I just try to be calm and meditate. But I have work, I have things I need to get done. It's not like I can be in my paradise that whole time, Like, I need to be able to handle stress, and right now I feel like I can't. And I don't know if it's mental health, I don't know if it's medication and therapy that's going to fix that, or if it's going to be something that, well, yeah, those things helped, but in the end, like, this is really just inner work that you got to do. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, you'll find out.
Yeah, I'll find out. And I will. So I did take medication last night, and it didn't knock me out. I didn't feel, I don't know. I it was like 0.5 milligrams, or is that what it is? Milligrams, or I don't know. Um, but it was super, super little. So I don't know if that was just,
Yeah, it
we'll
was probably
see.
just the right amount.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, I can function with this, but I am excited to find a doctor, and because I've been given Xanax and Prozac before, but I think I remember telling you, I went to a therapist and then a doctor, and they're like, yeah, it sounds like you have a lot going on. And I never went back to therapy, and I never went back. I took the medication and I threw it away.
I remember.
Literally. Yeah, I remember. I told you, like, yeah, I threw it
Message
away.
me.
Yeah, like, so how much do I really want to get better if I'm not really willing to try the things that make me uncomfortable?
Yeah.
So I have to, because my loved ones seeing me like this is what hurts me the most. And I'll tell my mom, like, I'm so sorry, and she's just like, you're fine,
Yeah.
or like my little brother. I hate it. Like, I hate them seeing me like that. I want them to see that, like, I'm not perfect, and we all have something that we need to get through. And I wanted them to be able to be like, yeah, Cassandra, because I hadn't had one in a long time. And the one I had, had one of them in front of them, and they were so freaked out. Like, my little brother was just like, oh my God. Like, they've never seen, even my mom, my mom will say, like, I don't know what you're going through, you know, but I'm here for you. And, like, I love you. And you're right. Like, how you're saying, like, just knowing that is so powerful. But even she was just like, oh my gosh, she's like Googling, like, you know, what to do. And I'm just like there, like, just crying and having a hard time breathing. And like, it was ugly. But they hadn't seen that. And so now I really try, obviously, not to have one in front of them. So at the dinner table, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm about to have one. Let's not have one. Let's stay calm. But then it's like I totally disconnect. Like, I have to disconnect from them and just kind of like connect to myself and fully put so much attention on myself that I'm just so quiet, and I'm no longer like participating, you know? I'm just in the back seat, like, chilling. And that's why it's like, maybe the therapist can give me some tools on, well, no, you feel like you have to check out, but you really don't, you know? Because I have tried, like, as I feel that way, to keep talking. And right now, I don't know if you can tell, but like, when we first were talking, I was trying to stay focused on this and not freak out. So I was like, you know, I do try that, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes I have to tell the person I'm talking to, like, I'm so sorry, like, you have to give me a minute. Like, I'm hearing you, but I'm not hearing you at all.
Yeah, like, you're not processing what they're saying.
Yeah, like, you're exactly, and you're just like, you just checked out. And with my mom, she was talking to me, and she's just like talking, and she's like, Cassandra, can you hear me? And I just was like, not there. I was like, yeah. And she knows me by now, and she knows, like, to give me, when you have people bombarding you, like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? You know, you're just like, like, let me just breathe. Give me some room. And so I got through it. But yeah, I want my family to be able to, like, it's just not fair. I say I'm going to go talk to someone, and getting help we all should be getting some type of therapy and some type of, like, you know, doing some mental health, you know? And I don't know
everybody.
Like, I don't know what that looks like for everyone. Obviously, some people just have different needs, but I think everybody needs to take care of their mental health. And that's what I'm going to learn about, like, how, you know, is it just meditating? Is it just, you know, I don't know. I don't know what it is. So I definitely want to figure that out so I can gain some tools and figure it out, because I don't want to be like this anymore. As far as, like, feeling stuck, I don't want to feel stuck. Like, I want to feel like these are my options, try them out, see what works, see what doesn't, and then, you know, roll with it.
And once you, like, learn, you know, and as you're learning, like, I feel that it would be important for you to share, maybe not the entire process, but some of your process, because I think it would be really helpful to a lot of people. I feel like we probably don't even know. I feel like we could think of a number of how many people are suffering what you're going through right now, and I feel like we would think, like, oh yeah, maybe like 10 people, you know, but then really it's like 150, and you're like, what? Like, I feel like we're not really aware of how much this shit is really out there, you know?
Yeah. And even, like, I have, like, anxiety to the point where I have these attacks, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm more serious than people who have anxiety that are, like, those intrusive thoughts that are just constantly, you know, like, when I don't have the anxiety attacks and panic attacks, I have the thoughts of, like, I always cringe when I'm driving by the metro.
Dude, I just thought of the fucking scooter.
Yeah, and shit like that happens.
Oh my
like,
gosh! Looking at that.
Okay, we have to tell people what you mean.
Okay, so when Cassie came to visit to San Antonio, you know, for all the people who live here or visit San Antonio, everybody diverge and rides these scooters and shit. And we're riding downtown or whatever, and
well, there's a storm coming.
yeah,
Literally.
huge storm coming, you know,
And
huge storm in San
the
Antonio,
phones are going off. The phones
yeah,
are going off. Like, alert, get it, you know?
yeah, phones are going off, but we're like, fuck it, we just wanted. She wanted to go to the river walk, so we were going to show her the river walk or whatever.
No, we were going to dinner. We're like, get our ass to the restaurant.
Oh yeah, but first we were at the river walk.
Oh yeah.
And you know me, I don't stop at no red lights, no street. I'm just like hauling ass in my little scooter and
Yes.
shit. Cassie knows, she stopped. You know, when it's her turn, she goes shit. And then when the storm, we were gonna eat outside in this restaurant in the outside area, and I looked at her and Rudy Anthony, and I was like, you know what, guys? I feel like this rain's gonna hit. Like we should go eat inside, and I really wanted sushi. So, well, I wanted to take her to sushi. So we were like, let's just ride the scooter there before the storm gets here. So we're like riding, and then I guess at that point, Cass is like, well, fuck it, I'm not gonna listen to the street lights or nothing. Like there's a storm coming, I gotta go, you know. So, and
no, I had the right away.
Yeah, I had the right away, and this big old charter bus decides to take a right.
Yes.
And Cassie's going, and the bus is just turning, and I'm looking at her like, cause I'm crossing the street. So I when I'm done crossing the street, I stop to, like, you know, just check on her, make sure she's good. That fucking that big old bus is turning, and you just see Cassie, like, she looks super tiny next to the bus, and she's like, oh my god.
And I'm turning with it, like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, like, might as well fucking turn. Otherwise, I'm gonna be a goddamn tortilla. Motherfucker's about to run over me. Dude, that shit was crazy.
Oh my god. Yeah, talk about anxiety. Like,
I was like, what? I couldn't believe he went, because it was actually the right of way, and I just hear that. Oh my god.
And I'm looking at the bus as I'm saying this. Like, I'm not even, like, looking at I'm just like, as I'm saying, oh my god, I'm looking at the bus. Like, as
you're looking up at it too, because it's huge, and you're like, what? Like, is this really seriously happening to me right now? Oh man. Well, I'm really glad I remember that story, and I'm really glad we can come to ending this
laughing.
Yes.
Yes.
I was like, ooh, how are we gonna close this one out? Oh no.
I know. I mean, we can release it. I feel better after this is like, we talk about, it's like our therapy sessions, you know?
Yeah.
Like talking to friends, talking to family. When you're in someone's car, you know, that meme or that little quote that says, like, low-key parked car conversations are therapy sessions. And it's like, dude, that is so true. So I have my group of people right now who are super supportive. And for that, like, I could just cry, because I'm just like, fuck, like, I feel so lucky. And it was so easy for me to be like, I'm so alone. And it's like,
you're not.
I'm not. Like, I literally have everybody that I want and that I love. I know that they're just one phone call away, and they'll be there for me. And for me, I'm just like, wow, that is what makes me hopeful. And that's what, like, keeps me going. Like, you have to do this, because there's no other option. There's just no other options. Like, I have to get some support. And it sounds so weird, like, I have to get help, but it's like, yeah, like, it takes a lot of courage or bravery to
say that you need help with your
mental help.
Because to seek help,
because I've said it.
Yeah, and to kind of shoot. Wait. I don't want to lose my thought, but I'm losing it.
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
It's gone.
God, I think I lost it. Wait. Oh, no, I got it. So, to kind of wrap up the episode, and, you know, we can have this conversation another day. This is going to be one of the most personal episodes out there from you. You know, I don't think I've had a personal episode on here yet. I'm sure it'll be coming. But, you know, to all the listeners and to everybody who has hit me up on Instagram, on Snapchat, and has texted me to tell me how they feel and what they like about the episodes. Thank you guys. It's awesome. To hear y'all support and what y'all have to say, it's really super cool. But son of a bitch. Oh yeah, so for y'all listening, God, I almost lost my thought again. So yeah, for everyone listening, this is a very important, sensitive subject. So
we should probably say this in the beginning.
Approach with caution. And I know I've said this in another episode, but this time I really mean it. Like, I really hope that whoever listened can take something from it, because if this is one of those episodes this is a conversation nobody wants to have, and nobody wants, you know, hundreds of people to listen. And guess what? You know, a few hundred of y'all are about to listen to it, but that's okay, because I if only one person can take away from this, that's all that matters.
Yeah, what do you think they're gonna take away?
I hope not the damn scooter story.
Like, poor Cass, oh my God, that got
me. Oh my gosh, she almost died in downtown.
On vacation. Wow.
On vacation.
No, yeah. I hope that they just take away that
anything, whatever it is
that's true. Like, I can't say.
Yeah.
But my thing is just, I'm going through it right now. So this isn't like me telling you, oh, this is how I got through it, and this is like, I'm figuring it out right now. And
yeah, and then maybe later on, you know, we can catch up again on the subject, and where are you at now, or what have you not, you know,
the update.
Yeah, an update. Yeah, and not necessarily telling people what to do and how to do it, but what has been working for me, what, you know, and that could encourage somebody to maybe talk to someone, or just talk to their friend, because maybe they haven't even really told their friend or whatever, you know. But yeah, so yeah, just to kind of end it there, I hope someone takes something from it, because these convos are, I think, good and
lifesavers.
Maybe, I hope. I love our phone calls. Otherwise, I wouldn't have decided to start a podcast off of it. So, yeah.
All right, girl. Well, I will call you in a little bit after this, because I still need some patty.
Okay.
Well, yeah. But we'll end the recording there.
Okay. I love you. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
I'm home all day today, girl. So you just holla at your girl.
You know I will.
Okay. I love you. Bye.
I love you too. Bye.